The night the storm found us, it did not arrive gently or with warning. It tore the sky open like a wound, flooding the mountains of western North Carolina with rain so heavy it felt personal, as if the clouds themselves were grieving. Wind screamed through the trees, lightning split the darkness again and again, and in that chaos, everything I believed about strength, fear, and love was tested all at once. Before the story continues, take a moment to pause. If you believe in kindness and second chances and in the quiet power of staying when walking away would be easier, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. My name is Matthew, and I never thought a simple road trip with my best friend would become the night that changed the direction of my heart. Rachel and I had known each other since college, the kind of friendship built on late-night talks, shared disappointments, and unspoken promises neither of us ever dared to define. She was the steady one, the calm voice when my life unraveled, and I was the one who made her laugh when the weight of the world sat too heavy on her shoulders. We were safe together, or so I thought, until the storm erased every illusion of control. We were driving through a narrow mountain road, the kind that snakes endlessly through forests and cliffs, with no cell service and no houses in sight. The rain began as a whisper on the windshield, then grew into a roar that swallowed the road. Water pooled faster than the tires could push it away, and fallen branches littered the pavement like warnings we ignored for too long. When the engine finally sputtered and died, silence rushed in so suddenly it felt louder than the storm itself. The car was trapped, half sunk in mud near a steep drop, the headlights flickering like they were afraid too. I tried restarting the engine again and again, but it refused, leaving us stranded in the middle of nowhere as the storm tightened its grip. Rachel's hands were shaking, though she tried to hide it, and for the first time since I had known her, her calm cracked just enough for me to see the fear underneath. The rain began seeping into the car, cold and relentless, soaking our clothes and chilling our skin. The temperature dropped fast, and with every passing minute, the situation felt more dangerous. I stepped outside into the storm, fighting wind and rain to assess the damage, but the mud sucked at my shoes and lightning forced me back inside. There was nowhere to go, no signal to call for help, and no guarantee the road would hold through the night. Inside the car, the world felt smaller and heavier. Rachel's breathing grew uneven, and I realized she was on the edge of panic, something she rarely allowed herself to show. She had always been the strong one, the listener, the fixer. Seeing her vulnerable cracked something open in me, something I had spent years pretending did not exist. The storm raged on, hours passing without mercy. Water streamed down the windows, blurring the world into streaks of gray and white. Thunder shook the ground beneath us, and every rumble felt like a reminder of how small we were. Rachel leaned closer without realizing it, her shoulder brushing mine, seeking warmth, seeking safety. I wrapped my jacket around her, knowing it would do little against the cold, but unwilling to do nothing at all. At some point, exhaustion replaced fear. Rachel's head rested against my chest, her body trembling, and I focused on steady breathing, on keeping us both grounded. In that quiet moment between storms, she clutched my arm with surprising strength and begged me, not with words spoken aloud, but with a fragile urgency that lived in her eyes, to stay with her. Not to leave, not to give up. Just to stay. Those unspoken words hit harder than thunder ever could. Memories flooded my mind, moments I had buried under the label of friendship. The way she always noticed when I was hurting before I said a word. The way she defended me when others doubted my choices. The nights we talked about our dreams, sitting too close but never crossing the invisible line we pretended was permanent. I realized then how much of my heart had been living in silence, afraid of ruining something beautiful by asking for more. The storm outside mirrored the one inside me. Fear battled hope, and doubt wrestled with truth. What if this night ended badly? What if help never came? What if the words left unspoken were lost forever? I tightened my hold on Rachel, grounding myself in the simple act of being there, of choosing presence over fear. Sometime before dawn, the rain softened. The thunder moved farther away, leaving behind a quiet so deep it felt sacred. Mist clung to the trees, and pale light crept into the sky, revealing the damage left behind. The road was scarred but intact. Our car was a mess, soaked and lifeless, but we were still breathing, still together. As daylight grew stronger, Rachel stirred, her eyes meeting mine with a mixture of relief and something deeper, something tender and raw. The storm had stripped away our defenses, leaving only truth in its wake. We did not need words to understand what had changed. Surviving the night together had rewritten the boundaries of our friendship. Hours later, a ranger truck finally appeared, its tires crunching over debris like a promise fulfilled. Help had come, but part of me wished the moment would stretch just a little longer, suspended in the fragile honesty we had found in the dark. As we were led to safety, Rachel's hand found mine, not out of fear this time, but out of choice. Life did not become perfect after that night. Fear does not disappear just because love shows up, but something fundamental had shifted. We stopped pretending we were only friends. We stopped hiding behind laughter and long conversations that ended too soon. The storm had taught us that staying matters, that choosing each other in the worst moments creates a bond no calm day ever could. Before this story ends, if it touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your engagement tells us these stories matter and helps us reach others who need hope. And please, before the final moment, leave a comment sharing a time you stayed for someone or someone stayed for you when it mattered most. Now, years later, when storms roll through our lives, whether made of rain or regret, I remember that night in the mountains. I remember how fear tried to pull us apart and how love, quiet and steady, asked us to stay. And every time I choose to stay, I know I am choosing the bravest thing I have ever done.